can't take a picture though if your camera's soaking wet. I had a not an alarming amount of water by no means, but a little more than what we usually get in the boat at the end of yesterday. There's not enough to be even remotely worried about or anything by no means. I don't want anybody to think that, but we were just getting splashed a little more yesterday than what we usually do. Well, we're getting closer to Cape Mary now. We're bringing our own whales there this time. We got a few of them hanging out with us right now. So just in case the Sea North boat up here isn't getting any action, we'll bring some whales over to them. Well, we're getting some underwater pics here. So we do have a few belugas in the area now, and if you're just tuning in to check us out, and I don't know, maybe you're first time viewer, you're just not sure what you're checking out here, we're out on the Churchill River in Churchill, Manitoba, Canada. And what you're seeing hopefully right now on the cam is headed the right way. There's a bunch of belugas following us over to Cockles Point. See Simon G's here with me taking a bunch of photos of the whales, or trying to at least. They're pretty tricky to capture good images of. But perhaps if you're willing to give us a hand and you haven't heard of our project Beluga Bits yet, you can check it out on explore.org's website. There's some links there talking a little bit about it, but basically in a nutshell, we're looking for your guys' help. It's a citizen science project, and we're looking for photos mainly on the underwater cam, or snapshots as I guess we like to call them. You'll see the little icon in the upper right hand corner of your video feed, and when the whales make an appearance, like they already have been today, anywhere in front of the underwater cam, we're looking for snapshots, images of scars or different identification marks, such as some of them just have weird white patches on them, or, well, look at the shape of that one's melon there, eh? Do you see that? Crazy. So belugas, they are the melon. It's kind of their forehead. It looks like it's kind of a bulbous forehead they've got, and that's called the melon. It's filled with oily substance, and that's what they use for their echolocation and sonar. And they're actually able to change the shape of it. So the one that just surfaced there, it just seemed extra large. Back to the beluga bits. Yeah, if you guys are able, we really appreciate it. We've been getting lots of photos so far this year. We had a lot last year. And Stefan, he's looking for also belly shots to help determine sex of the animals. And that way, I know he does numerous things with it, and it's always bringing up new questions, the photos that we're getting. But one of the things he wants to see is how many of the whales are returning to the estuary here in Churchill every year. There's 3 estuaries in this area, the Seal River, the Nelson River, and here at the Churchill. The Nelson is the most densely populated out of the 3. These whales are a part of the western Hudson Bay population, and in 2004 they estimated 57,300 whales-ish, which is lots. Yeah, it makes up a good percentage of the world's population. Excited now to get some of the guests out this August here. We got piles of them coming out, and we'll get some new factoids and tidbits that I could repeat over and over again on the boat here when I'm out by myself. So it'll be great talking to some of the experts.
Roger, sounds sorry. What was the question again?
Oh, well, I just wanted to have you chat a little bit about. You've been taking lots of videos and stuff, and I haven't seen. I've seen a few here and there, but I know you got some doozies. The other
Yeah,
day.
I mean, all the video that I've taken, it's. I'm going to be honest. It's been very challenging.
Uh-huh.
Like very challenging. I'm not used to photographing something that you can't see until it pops its head up.
Yeah.
It's kind of unusual. I guess it would help somewhat if I was at a higher elevation, but this is what we got. This is what I'm working with.
And see him coming, then.
So
Yeah.
the videos that I've taken, I've tried to get the feeding frenzies where possible, but with the boat moving up and down so much, it's exceptionally difficult, quite challenging. Some of the best shots, I think, what the viewers are seeing through the camera itself, through the Explore cam, under the water and getting it with my GoPro on a pole. It's a little bit more dynamic. You're able to move the pole to where the whales actually are. I just found it a little bit easier. That's all.
Yeah.
But yeah, the footage, for what I've seen, there is a lot of green water shots.
Yeah.
I'm going to admit that. But we got some great up close and personal, with the whales being so curious, coming right up to the camera, and this is going to help Stefan with his work, hopefully, because you can see the skin of the whale itself and pretty much down to the tail. So. Glad to help wherever I can.
Well, I wish, like the other day when it was just myself out in between now and the last time you were on the water, I was trying to take some photos just with my phone quick, but I know unless I tape that thing to my arm, it's going to go in the drink at some point.
Yeah.
That'll be pretty unfortunate, so I've been trying to avoid it, but I do want to take photos when I can, and the reason I took them the other day was because we had that one with the big, it must have been an infection or something.
Infected melon.
Yeah, well, it was behind his blowhole, looked like a separate melon. And then just one with a large scar on its dorsal ridge. But yeah, if only, and I'm doing a million things here on the boat, or just kind of all over the place, so it's difficult to add another thing in there as well. But if I do get the opportunity, I'll... Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sam just is catching a few photos there of a little calf doing a spy hop.
Yeah, so I guess it's lucky that I like a challenge with regards to trying to film and photograph these guys.
Yeah.
It's something that I'll happily quite doing until I get the shot. But I got some great shots of some tails popping out, of the side flippers coming out, or the side fins coming out. Some close-up shots on the video, the GoPro, and my own DSLR where possible. But we are moving around up and down, and it's challenging.
Even like I lucked out. Sorry, just got a few things going. I had the one day where I lucked out. We had good clarity, and I got a bit of good video. The best part about it, though, like I find the hardest thing with GoPros is, say, my little diving thing that I use. It's like a little flotation device. You hold it in your hand, and you can dive around, and it just the string wraps around your wrist, but there's a little metal ring on it, and it just bangs and clanks around, and every time you make a video, it like echoes through that tube right into the speaker on the GoPro.
Do you mean this little guy here?
Yeah, same thing. Yeah. So I had good video, and it turned out actually pretty decent for me, just leaning over the edge of the boat and guessing where the whales were. But the best part about it was they're singing away down there that time, man. Well, I showed you the video. They're making all kinds of noises. It's crazy.
Yeah, actually, it reminds me. I mean, even though I've got like a big open wide Churchill River with nothing in it, you can still hear the beluga singing in the background, and it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. You got kind of the waves lapping, the noise of that, plus the noise of the belugas singing. It's beautiful. I think I'm going to make a tape, just an MP3 tape out of it.
Well, lots of people have
just
commented.
To fall asleep to it.
I'll have moments out here where we're just chilling out, basically cruising around, and I'm not talking or anything, and that's when people start to comment that it's really nice and relaxing, because you just
I didn't realise, so we got a little friend coming up underneath, some bubbles, is that you can hear them above the water.
Yeah, sometimes they make a little squawk or a burp or something. It's weird. It's weird. It's different noises. It's not like the typical.
Oh, maybe I heard it through a microphone or through something else. I could have sworn I heard the chirping.
I can hear them like echo through the boat sometimes.
Yeah.
It's so loud underneath you hear it echoing through this big hull of Zodiac. But once in a while they poke up. Like, it's not, I don't think maybe they can and they just don't do it, I'm not sure, but they don't come out of the water as much and squawk like, say, a dolphin, what you might hear a dolphin do.
No, it's just a raspberry blowing exhale.
Yeah. Yeah, it's honing in on a couple in front of us, it looked like, but. So it looks like Cockles Point isn't, lots going on there right now. I know a few of the other boats are headed out to the bay.
That's the only reason.
Pardon? Oh. Well, you could probably switch it up from time to time. Try to minimize it.
Salt water is not too friendly on my equipment.
No.
Give it a wash down. It's relatively waterproof, so it's not too bad.
Yeah.
Some of the issues I have had, and I would highly recommend, is do not buy anything apart from, if it's a GoPro, buy GoPro product. If it's a Canon, buy Canon product. Because what I found is I have aimed to buy some cheaper products from certain stores, and it's failed on me. At the moment, I've got I had to replace it when I was travelling through from the UK, one of my GoPro cases, and I've had so many issues with it, with humidity within it.
Oh.
I know you can get those little patches and what have you that go inside.
I'm not sure if I brought mine. I could just give you some too, but I've never had to use them. Like, I have the actual GoPro case, and I've dove quite often with it, and I don't know. It's definitely luck, I'm sure too, but. I've seen people with the big housings I have a Canon Rebel camera, and you can buy waterproof housings for it to take with you diving, and then those guys get phenomenal photos.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
A few people have said, well, they leak sometimes, so and I'm not taking that chance.
Now, you've got to be really, really careful, even in these large cases that you've got all of your equipment in, the pellet case. You've got to be really, really careful to make sure those gaskets are dirt-free. Maybe you have to oil them, I'm not sure, but just look after it, because it will leak and it will ruin your equipment, and salt water just corrode it, kill it.
I was a little bit nervous the other day. We had our GoPros under for the whole 4 hours.
Yeah.
And I thought just that much current, that much water hitting up against it while we're cruising around here, it just weasel its way in, make a hole or something.
Yeah, looks like I'm suffering from that right now. I'm just gonna put the mic down.
Should have brought mine for you today. We just have somebody asking about Hayley. She's back in New Zealand. She wasn't able to come this year. She's with her mum, who isn't doing well right now, but that's where she is, and I've talked to her a few times, and hopefully actually I'll be talking to her again soon, but she does send her love, she said. She wants to say hi to everybody, and she misses Churchill and you guys and the whales, and definitely wishes she could be here, but unfortunately she was
sending my love to Hayley and her family for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she seems I haven't actually got to meet her in person, but chatting with her on the phone and through Skype and a little bit on email, I can see why everybody was wondering where she was. Like she left some big boots to fill. Yeah, jostling around. I mean, this is considerably calm. It can be way worse, but not ideal for taking photos. Oh, we just had one jump out of the water. One just jumped right in front of him.
Every time I turn one way, still jumping?
No. He is. Whoa, just did come out though. There he is. So we got another kind of north wind happening, which does make it pretty difficult to hide from or escape into calmer waters. We're not complaining though, this isn't too bad. I guess not ideal for Simon taking photos. Could tell he's frustrated up there, but so I'm not sure if we're still alive on Facebook right now. I'll assume we are. I just want to mention, for anybody tuning in for the first time, we've got some guests coming up. Pretty exciting. Tomorrow we have Anais, I think is, I don't know, we'll find out how to pronounce her name, and then I'll hopefully chat with her maybe tonight or tomorrow morning before we head out. And I believe she's going to be coming out and chatting with us about the tundra grizzly, which will be very interesting. This Friday we have Karen Blackburn from Parks Canada. She'll be out with us in the evening, I believe, as well, so that'll be a good conversation. Some of the other guests, I'm getting more and more here, so it's becoming more difficult to remember them all. I think on the, here on the 6th we got is Jesse Buchanan, is that hopefully how you pronounce that one too, and it's just, I mean, from my understanding, and we'll get that sorted out soon too, the artist for Canada's 150th, which we just celebrated this summer, responsible for some of the awesome artwork we've been seeing, so that's going to be exciting to chat about that. And then we've got our local interns, Terry and Journey. They'll be out on the boat with us on the 10th. And next on the 12th, we're going to have Rob come out with us, Rob Nags, and he's going to bring his cello, and that'll be a great time out on the river, serenading the whales. Lots of exciting stuff. We're currently settling on a lot more really awesome and interesting people. We got an archaeologist coming out with us. We got a stonemason from the Prince of Wales Fort. Heather's going to be coming out herself and talking a little bit about the history of Churchill, about the Prince of Wales Fort, Cape Mary, all that kind of stuff. And then there's just various others I don't want to say because I can't remember exactly. We went over probably 12 or so different guests that we're going to be having out this month so far and counting. So it's going to be a jam-packed August. Right here. Hey, just right upside of the boat. Now it looks like they went down. You seen them? There. Little calf about to poke up. There'll be a calf popping up there in a second. There you go.
Got it.
Got it about 100 times.
And all that just for the one.
Yeah, he's got his camera on rapid fire. You know what I was thinking would be a cool, oh, maybe we should flip around. There's a few that just kind of popped up heading back towards Cockles. It's sort of all we're seeing, so maybe I'll head back that way. Maybe they do and I just haven't seen it yet, but Explorer Cam for like a big ant farm, so if people could see just what, like, I mean, an ant, they're pretty interesting creatures. I believe the largest colony known, like, or they all come from the same type of ant. It spans from something like Los Angeles to San Francisco or something. They can trace it all the way up there, that it's the same colony just moving.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think ants are also introduced, so they're to a lot of parts of the world. And if you weighed all the ants in the world and all the people in the world, there'd be more biomass with ants than people.
Because they have all the different chambers, like, and the air temperatures and the humidity is controlled.
They grow fungus and stuff, some of them.
Exactly, it's a symbiotic relationship with the two.
And they have little ventilation systems that, so they're cycling out the CO2 and bringing oxygen in and stuff. Or it's crazy. But that maybe would be a cool, kind of a neat Explorer Cam. Just throwing an idea out there. There's lots more. I went and checked out like a bug exhibit / bug farm kind of thing. I don't know what you'd call it, bug zoo. And yeah, he had lots of wild things to say about ants. Of course I can't remember them all, but and by the way, everybody out there, if any of these things that I'm saying are wrong, which sometimes is possible, then feel free to set me straight. I am not an expert in any of this stuff. I'm just recalling things that I've read or heard and doing my best to make sure they're actually factual, but people make mistakes. So feel free to call me out if I am, and I'll correct it here. I'll make sure everybody knows the right answer. Oh, they're pretty spread out again today, eh? Oh. Yeah, so I just was told there is no ant cam. there's bees and bats, and both those are equally as cool. I don't know if we want to fall down the bee wormhole again here. We've visited that one a couple times. I love the bee cam. That's probably one of my favorites. I just think I don't know what it is about it, but watching them, it's pretty cool. They got one in the hive, and then they got one kind of their little landing pad coming in the hive, and you could see all the clusters of pollen and stuff building up on their legs.
A deserted or an ant home that had been evacuated or something along those lines, and they filled it with molten aluminium or aluminum, as you say out here, and they dug it all out, and you could see all the chambers and the layers, and it was something out of the sci-fi film.
Yeah, it's huge incredible. Too, how deep they go and how elaborate it is. It's wild because they've done it they mix like a concrete slurry too, and they pour it down the hole and then dig it out, and it's man, it's wild. Say the bat cam too. I haven't checked that one out yet, but I like bats too. I found them at home when I'm working doing masonry. Come fall time, when things are starting to cool off, and I'm trying to avoid having my concrete freeze, I wrap everything up in insulated tarps, then put little heaters underneath it for the night when it does freeze through the night. And every once in a while, I'll open up the tarps and I'll get the odd bat under there clinging to my scratch coat. They're super cool. They'll eat, I think it's their body weight in bugs every night if they're able to. It's nuts. You could actually look online and see how to make a bat home if you want to attract them. If you got them in the area and you want to bring them over to your house to help take care of the bugs, you could build houses and it'll tell you just how to do it. I think they have to be pretty high, a south-facing entrance, I believe, or something like that, painted a dark color, and if you put something like lath on the inside for them to cling to, there's just certain things that bats looking for in a home. So if you want to bring some over to your house, just Google that, and I think it'd be fairly easy to make. And a chipmunk cam too, that'd be interesting as well. We had a lot of those up north when I was northern Alberta near Red Earth this year. You could hear them squawking away when you, for whatever reason, walking up and down the trails, they start making a racket. I guess you're invading their space or something. We could see all the shucked pine cone chunks all building up at the bottom of the trees. They're pretty busy little critters. It's not as good going into the wind, eh? Simon's getting a little splashed. I'm trying to avoid the waves.
One of my many challenges. Yeah, saltwater or getting there as quick as anything, and I really.
Yeah, you could probably, if we're heading up the river, you can come back down here if you want, and then.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's a lot better heading down.
I want everyone to get the good view. That's the main priority here.
Looks like there's a few over near the port there. Might be slightly calmer in that direction. There's a bunch surfacing over at the port. I know, I'm thinking about throwing another layer on myself. Yeah. Doesn't take much, just sitting out, we're pretty exposed out here, the wind's blowing at a decent pace, but it's just a cool north wind. I'll tell you though, these Patagonia, I just got a couple tops, like Patagonia layers. Man, it's nuts. This winter is super cold. Oh, you might want to bust out the cam again right when you're putting it away. Just two right here. And then every time I tell you, they take their last breath and then disappear. Here they come. Two juvies. There you go. Oh. Yeah, I wore just a couple thin layers of that in my parka, and it's crazy how warm that'll keep you in the winter. There's some frolicking aways off in front. They're still rolling around. See him there? Seen a few fins popping up. bit of activity there. Waving to us. We've got a viewer hanging out, just popped by for the first time this year, I guess, and asking about the change in the watercolor. Just this winter we had so much snow. Once it did melt this spring, it just overtook the river basically. Like a lot of flooding, the ice did a lot of damage. Tore a bunch of chunks out of the weir, for example, which is about 10 kilometers up the river from here. And yeah, as a result, now we've just been getting a lot of this murky water. We've had some days, we had a number of days actually where it cleared up quite a bit, and it was just, we got some great weather. There wasn't a lot of wind, so it wasn't churning anything up, and it seemed to be mostly when the tide was coming in, we were getting like a nice current. Oh man, did you get that? A whale practically just leapt out of the water there, and Simon's snapping away. Hopefully you got that one. But yeah, so when the tide was coming in, we were getting, and even out there it changes too, just depending on the current. Sometimes it stirs up a lot of junk and washes it into the river here, but no, we lucked out for a bit and had that nice clear water. But now we've got some pretty nasty weather this past few days, a lot of wind and stuff, so it's kind of churning things up again, and it does seem like it's better than when we first got out here. So we're hoping as the summer wears on that it just continues to get better, and maybe by the end of the year we'll be having some awesome visibility again. Oh, I hope you got that one. That was awesome. Are you able to zoom pretty good from here? No? Yeah. So we're kind of creeping up on a group here that seems to be horsing around. Even rolling around and jumping a little bit. We'll just get up kind of close to them here and see if they'll continue playing. Once we get up a ways, we'll whip around and then go with the waves back, maybe out in front of the port. I'm still seeing some whales over there too. Oh, if you're interested to read up on the wicked storms we had here this winter, Cloud just posted a link to check that out. It was pretty wild. If you haven't heard about it, yeah, it was just, I've never been in anything like it. I've had some pretty nasty storms up north working in northern Alberta. We've had some extreme cold weather, lots of snow, lots of wind, but nothing quite like that. Just getting sidetracked by these whales here. There's a decent amount, it looks like, gathering in the middle here.